Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cogent Coder. Today we are going to see one more problem on the topic backtracking. So the problem number is 1079, letter tile possibilities. So the question says that you have n tiles where each tile has one letter tiles I printed on it. Return the number of possible non-empty sequences of letters you can make using the letters printed on those tiles. So for example, if we have a string AAB, so we have to provide all the possible sequences that can be formed using these letters, and all the sequences should be unique. Okay, the letters can be repeated, but the sequences or the words that is formed using those letters should be unique. Let's see the logic and try to use backtracking in a simple way. Let's see the logic first, how the strings or words can be generated from the letters in the given input. So let's assume we have three letters A and B. Okay, so at first instance we have three options. Either we can take the first A or second A or third B. Okay, so if I take the first A, I have fixed my first element and the other two letters are in option. I can take A or I can take B. If I take A again, my string will become AA. If I take B, my string will become AB. Now there is only one letter remaining after taking AA, so the remaining letter is B. So I have only one option, so the final string is AAB. Here I have only A option, so the final string will become ABA. Similarly, if I take second A as my first element, so the first letter is A now and the remaining letters are this A and this B. Okay, so if I take A, it becomes AA. If I take B, the string becomes AB, and so on. Okay, if I take B as my first letter, now I have options AA. Okay, so if I go either side, okay, so I will get the same string BA. Okay, this is generated using the first A, this is generated using second A. This is my final string. So as you can see the output and this diagram, we can say the output is generated at each level. Okay, there is a string with single letter, there is a string with double letter, and there is a string with length 3. Okay, and so on if there are more letters. And also you can see there are some duplicate strings we are getting here, but in output it is not allowed to take duplicate elements, so we will use set for this output. Now let's see how pseudocode can be generated or how backtrack function can be generated using this diagram. So this is same diagram as I have shown before, this one. Okay, I have just included pseudocode in each block to understand it in a much better way how the backtracking function will work. So in the left side I have input and output, and in the blue I have written pseudocode. So let's see what the pseudocode is. So whenever we call this function, it will have a for loop for all index values from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, and it will check a condition flag is equal to 0, then it will execute this for statement. So what this flag is, so as you can see, T represents tiles, which is my input AAB, M is my flag. Okay, it is a map variable, but we will use it as flag, so it will tell me if the alphabet is already taken or not. And this S is a string which will tell me the current string, and result is this output. Okay, so result is set of strings. So now if the flag is 0, that means the alphabet is not taken, so I will execute these 4 statements. So I have written all these 4 statements in every block. Let's see the diagram now. When we call the solve function for the first time, it will execute for all the index values. So what are the index values? 0, 1 and 2. So it will execute for 0, 1 and 2. So first it will execute for 0 and it will check if the flag is set or unset. But initially, as you can see, I have written this M here, which will tell me if the flag is set or not. So initially the map is empty, so it means the flag is not set for this 0th index. So it will execute these 4 statements, which says s is equal to a and m0 is equal to 1. So what this means, you can see here, first statement, add letter to s and set the flag. So I have added the alphabet. Okay, so this alphabet I have added in the string which was empty earlier, and I have set the flag. So now the flag for this a is 1, and insert s into result, because we need to include all the strings of every length, okay, greater than 0. So now I got the string a, so and this output also contains a. So now I can include this string into my result. So that's why I have written the second statement as insert s into result, and then I will call the function again. After calling the same function, it will again check from the 0th index. But now, as you can see, the 0th index, the flag is set for this alphabet. So it will not satisfy this condition and it will come back and check for the next index. So the next index value was 1. So now it will check for the second alphabet. So the second alphabet is not set, as you can see here, it is empty. So it will satisfy this condition and it will execute this 4 statement. Again it will add this new letter to the previous string. So previous string was a and the new alphabet is also a. So now my string becomes AA, and I will set the second alphabet also 1. So the flag of second alphabet is now 1, and I have inserted that new string to my result. So I got this as my output, I got this as my output as well, and it will call the function again. So after calling the function, it will again check with the 0th index. So now 0th flag is 1. So the flag for the second alphabet is also 1. It will check for the last index, which is 2, and the flag is not set, so it will satisfy the condition and it will execute the 4 statements. Now it will add this alphabet to my string. So now the string becomes AAB, and it will again set the flag for the remaining letter 1, and it will insert this new string into my result. So now I got this string also, and again it will call the same function, but this will not execute for any index values because all the index values are now set. Okay, the flag for all the alphabet is set now, so it will not satisfy any of the condition and it will come back. And the 4th statement is pop the last letter and unset the flag. So now after coming back, it will execute this last statement, which is pop the last letter. So the last letter was B, and I have to unset the alphabet. The flag for B becomes 0 now. Again it will go back, but this was the last index, so it will again pop the last alphabet, which was second A, and it will set the flag to 0. So now this alphabet is also not used. Again it will go back and it will check for the remaining index values. So the remaining index value was 2. So the for loop continues, and for 2 it will check if the flag is set. So no, it was not set, so it will add this letter to the previous string. So the previous string was A. So now this B is appended to my previous string A. So now the string becomes AB, and I have to insert this AB into my result. So I got this and output also. again it will check, again it will call the same function and it will check with from 0th index. So for 0th index the flag is already set, so I cannot take this. It will check for the next index, so it is 1 and it is not set. Okay, here you can see it is not set. So it will execute and it will add that letter to the last position, which is ABA, and it will set the flag to 1 now. Okay, so now all the alphabet is used, and if we call the function again it will not execute further and it will come back and it will pop the last letter, which was A, and it will unset this. Okay, so now the second alphabet is removed. It will go back and it will check for the second index, but second index was already used, so it will not execute and it will come back. So like this every block will execute for 3 times for all the index, and we will get the output for all the remaining strings. Just return the size of the set. Let's see the code now. So first we will initialize the variables which we are going to require. So as I said, we will use set of strings named result, and we will pass the result dot size to our answer, and we will also use a map int comma int flag and a string capital S. Now we will write the backtrack function solve. As we have initialized all the variables globally, so we don't have to pass those variables into this function. Okay, so I am just passing the string tiles function as parameter, and as I said, for every call it will run a for loop from 0 to n, not n, actually it is tiles dot size. Okay, in this for loop it will have a condition. So what was the condition? If flag of I is not set, okay, if it is not equal to 1, that means it is not set, then only it will execute all the statements. So what was the statements? Here you can see the statement was add letter to S and set the flag, insert S to result, call the function and pop the last letter. So I will push back the alphabet first, set the flag of that index to 1, insert that string to my result, then call the function again. Okay, after coming back we have to unset the flag. I will set it to 0, that means I have unset the flag, and I will pop back the last letter. In the main function we will just call the backtrack function and we will return the result dot size. Okay, let's see if the code runs properly. Yes, the code is accepted. Let's submit it. Yes, the code is submitted successfully. So this was the solution for this question, and we have used backtracking. So there are other videos on the backtracking topic on this channel. You can check this out. I will give the link in the description. I will upload more videos on backtracking topic. So that's it for today. Please hit like if you like my explanation and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you again in the next video. Bye bye.